What's up, everybody? It's Trey Smith with College Game Time, back with another College Game Time reaction video. SEC Days, SEC Media Days, Day 1. I've already got the Sankey reaction up. And then I got this Jimbo Fisher clip I want to play for you. I was asked directly about the dynamic with Bobby Petrino and play calling responsibilities. I'm going to let you hear it, and then let's discuss.
So what's the dynamic going to be like on game day? Does he have total freedom to call the plays, and kind of how will that work? And is it hard for you to give up, play calling?
No, there's a lot of things, and you're still involved in what goes on. I'm not going to get into what we're doing, how we're doing it. Again, I'm not trying to avoid anything. I just don't want to create you create advantages or narratives out there for what goes on. But listen, Bobby was hired for a reason, and he's a tremendous coach and tremendous guy and a tremendous football mind, tremendous recruiter. He's done a great job recruiting since he's been there. Everything he does, and he'll call a lot of. Hopefully he'll call the game. We'll have suggestions on things we do, and whether it's offense, defense, every coach is always involved. It's a more collective thing that people want to give it room for. And then when you get to calling, you get on a roll, you got to have a guy that can do it, and I think Bobby can definitely do that. He does it as well as anybody in college football. I have great respect for him. Me and him we've had a great admiration for each other for a long time. His knowledge and his production and what he's done.
So you tell me, who's calling the plays? It would be wise of Jimbo, of Coach Fisher, to just let Bobby Petrino have the offense. And maybe he has. Maybe that's the conversation that's happened behind closed doors, and we just don't know that, and that's not something he wants to just completely reveal to the media. He's the head coach. That's really his business, his job, his decision, whatever. It would be wise of him to do that, in my opinion. And I think it goes back to what Jordan Rodgers said in reaction to this, where he was saying that A&M has not had an issue like a playbook issue or even a play call issue. What A&M's offensive struggles have been is a presentation issue as it pertains to pre-snap motions and shifts and things to get the defense thinking are things they just don't do. And he actually shared a statistic that I had not heard, that he said was based on his own film study, which was when you compare the percentage of pre-snap motions and shifts and things like that, activity that happened pre-snap when A&M has played Alabama compared to their other games, it's like an 80% to 20% difference. In other words, 80% of their plays against Alabama, you see some sort of activity happening pre-snap, and then the rest of their games, it's like 20 to 25% was what he said based on his film study. And so obviously Coach Petrino, he's one of the greatest play callers, period, will help with that. He's also one of the greatest developers of quarterbacks. And if you look throughout his career, he's shown the ability to adapt to different skill sets of quarterbacks or different strengths. I mean, you think back earlier in the 2000s when it was the Brian Brom and Ryan Mallett, rest in peace, Tyler Wilson and guys like that. And then shifts, or even like, I don't think he had Mike White at Western Kentucky. I think that was Jeff Brom. But then he had Lamar Jackson, and then more recently at the FCS level, he had Jason Shelley. Both of those guys are dual threat versus earlier in his tenure as a head coach and play caller, where it was guys that didn't really do anything with their legs. So he's shown the ability to be able to adapt to whatever the skill set of the quarterback is. But I don't know, man. I'm curious because this A&M offense could be one of the best in the country if Petrino has full control. But it's kind of like the old saying, right? If you've got two head coaches, you've got no head coach. Well, if you've got two play callers, you've got no play caller. And so seeing how that begins to continue to develop, I'm sure Jimbo's sick of talking about that. I thought maybe we would get a little bit more out of him. No, I didn't. I'm lying. I didn't think we were going to get more out of Jimbo. I think there were people out there who thought we were going to get more out of him as it pertains to the dynamic with Coach Petrino and the play calling responsibilities. But as you saw, it was perfect coach speak. We really have nothing. And yeah, we get it. It is a collective. There is a lot of collaboration that goes into it. But at the end of the day, a play caller is the play caller. So, if it's still going through Jimbo, We'll see how that plays out between him and Coach Petrino. But if Petrino has full authority, and maybe Jimbo's doing this, to give himself an out. So halfway through the season, if the A&M offense isn't performing well, he can go one of two ways. He can either say, I'm taking play calling back over, or he can say, probably more likely, he can say, I'm giving full freedom to Coach Petrino. Something like that. And maybe that's just his way of giving himself that option later as it pertains to the media, depending on how the season plays out, especially early. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. What did you hear out of that? What do you think is going to happen as it pertains to that offense? Two great offensive minds, two of the best, actually. The question is, can they coexist? Because if they can figure this thing out, this A&M offense could be deadly this year. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching. That's it for me, Trey Smith, College Game Time.